not the ones from Nairobi.
Now the cat is out of the bag.
No, I was just saying. It's not it out.
It was just
secret. It was just chungulia. It's not out.
So our guest is Indian.
Guy. It's a spoiler, bro.
No, there's definitely a lot of depth to our particular guest. So as always, let's get into it. Tonight on the Wind Down, we are joined by Sajid Vayani, sales director at icolo.io and host of the Coffee Pump podcast.
Yeah.
With years of experience in technology and business leadership, Sajid is at the heart of conversations about Africa's digital future, from powering data centers to exploring how tech is reshaping our everyday lives. He's here to share insights on where innovation is taking us next. Without further ado, put your hands together and help me welcome the one, the only Sajid Vayani.
Bro,
you guy.
That was such an amazing intro.
Thank you so much.
Did you use ChatGPT?
Obviously.
Do you know Kenya is the highest in terms of user percentage per population?
Yeah.
With the highest ChatGPT users.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Guys are in that thing, yao yote.
Bro, I'm before I sort of met my fiance, I was using ChatGPT to talk to women.
How's that? Like
it worked. They didn't spot it, and then I met a mama who was replying with the same wavelength as me. I'm like, this one's also using ChatGPT.
Is that the one you're with now?
No.
Oh yeah. Yes.
How can you talk to a mama who doesn't make an effort?
Alright, dude. Me, I used to write poems on ChatGPT, then I sent chicks.
Yes, I've done that as well. When I go,
Guy.
yeah, we're on the same. I'm telling you.
No, we're hanging out lately.
You will replace Eric slowly.
But only one of you has a fiance. So I don't know.
This was like a recent development, by the way. Like for the longest time, I even entered 2025 saying I'm going to be single for the rest of my life.
But who is ChatGPT? Huh?
Even ChatGPT was like, bro, you're messing this one up.
Save the life of our boy, you guy.
And we've been hanging out. I think we were together last week.
Yeah.
And then before that, you came on Coffee Pump.
Yes.
I'm saying you, by the way, for those listeners. I'm talking about Manuel Kisiangani. Bashir, we're going to do a separate one. And then the week before, I was on the Kisiangani podcast.
Yeah.
Let me just say, by the way, this radio gig. Wow, like the studio, bro.
Oh, you're loving the studio?
What are these things over here, these blocks? This for
sound?
sound?
Yeah. They're for absorbing the sound.
We have a long way to go.
You guys,
we have a long way.
We've not even begun.
Bro, you know the thing is, the AC in my studio, it's not even my studio. I'm leasing it out from someone. You know, when we're talking, you can hear
all right.
This is quiet.
You guys, it's a high-end
congrats. I admire what you guys are doing.
No, thank you.
This is amazing.
No, thanks also for coming through. You know, you coming here is endorsing us.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course, and I'll come again.
You guys do that. Keep doing that even at home.
Part 1 or part 2.
JK, promise, baby.
By the way, so speaking of coming, actually no.
Again.
CAK. Are they listening?
Yes. We have to be very.
So I can't say any bad words.
No. We have to be very PG.
So what if I was a politician? Could I get away with it?
No, it's actually not the guest. It's the
radio station.
The station that should be fined, because we are the ones who are supposed to enforce, the regulations which we are given.
But what do you guys think about that? I mean, do you think these are generally bad words that change the perception of people and the people listening in? I mean, think about it this way: our politicians, they have clean mouths and dirty pockets, and they get away with it. And if someone comes on radio and says that F word, he gets basically crucified.
But I think the politicians don't use
and we should change that.
Bad language in public. They use
behind the scenes.
Maybe behind the scenes, but when they're on podiums, they just use proverbs. You remember that? Do you remember that story for Ukiona Wao? Weka Tairi? Do you remember that one?
Enlighten me.
There's this politician, I think his name was Ndolo or something. So he was talking about if you see some other guys, Weka Tairi, which means put necklace, you put on the tie, then you burn them. All right. So later on, when he was asked why would you say that, then he's like, no, ilikuwa ukiona wao weka tairi ya gari.
Bro, that actually reminded me of a story. This tire thing, where people put it around you for thieves, right?
Yeah.
There's a gentleman I knew in Mombasa, and it's a bit of a dark story. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it, but let's hold that thought for a moment. When you come back, we're going to talk about that story. We hang out with Sajid Vayani right here in studio from the Coffee Pump podcast fame. That was a tongue twister over there. With quite a number of F's over there. When you come back, we're just going to go on all the way till the top of the hour. So don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
This is Radio Generation. Shawarma Festival 2025 is here on September 27th at Two Rivers Mall. Taste, vibe, and heal. Nairobi's best shawarmas, DJs, cook-offs, and mental health spaces, all in one festival. Get your tickets at madfun.com. Radio Generation 88.8 Nairobi. This is Radio Generation.
You're hanging out with Emmanuel Kisingani and Bashir Halaiki right here in studio. And Bashir, we have a dope guest in the studio, right?
Yeah, we have Sajid Vayani in the building. Mazee amekuja na ubaya sana. Mazee amekuja akakuwa interviewer.
I think amekuja na
Emmanuel, so no, let me just ask a question. Mazee ameflip the script.
You guy, man.
No, because it's so fascinating. Like radio, for most people, when they see radio, they see a very traditional form of medium, right?
Yeah.
But I think what you guys are doing, the podcast aspect of it, and in Kenya, and for the most part East Africa, a lot of people still listen to radio.
Yeah.
Like YouTube and everything is within the metros.
Yes. You see, because especially outside Nairobi,
Yes.
guys, you just have your phone. Like in my shags, you just have your phone over there, which has a little radio inside. So you just stick in the earphones.
Yes.
And it's not even a fancy phone. It's called a Katulu.
Katulu.
So you just stick the earphones and it can play the radio in the phone. So guys listen to radio like that all over the country outside Nairobi.
Yeah.
So I think as the internet is spreading all over the country, and I'm sure you're part of that move.
Yes.
Guys are gonna jump on the internet more. All right. And
Correct.
Speaking of internet and work, is work stressful? The last time I was with you, you were working until like midnight.
Yeah.
How's it going?
So we'll give a bit of more context. Should I finish that dark story, by the way? The one for the tire?
Oh, yes. Let's finish. Yeah.
So, whenever people set up internet in these remote areas, there was a gentleman, I'm forgetting which ISP he worked for. Unfortunately, he went to repair some of his fibers. Because what happens is normally people go and they steal these things, right?
You're talking about fiber for the internet?
Yeah, FTTH, fiber to the home.
Okay.
And a lot of ISPs, because of Communications Authority of Kenya, there are a lot of ISPs that have come up. And you have people like in SyokiNet, from Syokimau, VGGNet, from areas that are not really densely populated, but in the, outside the quadrant of Nairobi. And what happens is a lot of these guys are their own boss, they're on their technician. So this gentleman ended up going because he felt there was a loss of signal. So he ended up investigating a pole, and now this was in Mombasa, in inland Uko. People saw him, they're like, this guy's a thief. He couldn't say anything. People put a tie around him and jomad the thing.
For real?
Yeah, bro.
And you're just going to do maintenance?
Bro, and I was like, this is the country we live in.
Yo, that is
Yani, you're just
crazy.
going to improve the internet capacity and just mistaken identity.
They had never seen a guy up a pole?
No, I mean, obviously they think he's stealing, because what would you be doing at 2-3 in the morning, right?
All right, yeah, true.
And unfortunately, it was just a case of mistaken identity. That was last year, though. So when you said that tire thing, I was like, hey, that brought back.
Yeah. Weka tire, man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get the room gloomy. Let's talk about last week.
Let's talk about your stress levels.
No, first how was your impression of that event that we were at?
It was really good. If you guys don't know, Sajid has a day job. You want to tell guys about your day job?
So I work for a company called Icolo Data Centers. And last week was, and I'll tell you more about the data center role. We've talked about it on your podcast. We'll talk about it more here. So last week there was a very big conference called International Telecoms Week. And what this is, it's a collection of telecoms, cloud players, data centers, and they all sort of congregate in Kenya. And like Wednesday night, usually what we do is we have like a get-together party. But for me, that's where these handshake deals happen, right? We've had the formal meetings. Now we're wining and dining. Everyone is there. Everyone is having a good time. You were seeing, right? I was out and about just trying to meet everyone and maximize opportunity. And these are the best times. That's the type of sales that I usually focus on. Is not the car sales guy. This is what this is the brochure. This is what the car does. This is what. No, let's get to understand you. Let's go out for a couple of meals. We don't talk business. Let's have a drink together. Let's formulate a relationship. And then when you have issues, if you have a problem, if you have a service that you need, I'm your man. Right? And so what I try and be is the jack of all trades to someone. If there's something in Kenya that needs to be done, whether it's in IT or podcasting or something completely separate, Sajid is my guy.
All right.
Because that's how you remember.
So those events you have to be Mr. Friendly.
Yeah, you have to.
Do you get tired? Like, can you imagine salameing everyone while smiling and happy?
Yeah.
Like 24/7. Checking out, how are you doing, bro? You
Yeah.
good? Good to see you. Karibu sana Kenya, man. How are you liking it? Nice, nice.
It's
Yo, how you doing, bro? Karibu sana Kenya. How you liking it, bro?
it takes a lot from you. You have to have that personality. If you work in sales, your energy has to be through the roof, right? And I think for me, over the last 12 months, my energy has deteriorated. I think getting injured, not going to the gym, even just talking right now, I feel like I'm out of breath, bro. Like, it's that serious.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. So that really affects your mood and whatever you do. So one thing I tell people is if you're in sales, you always have to outward looking, right? You have to dress sharp, you have to look sharp, you have to feel like your energy is over there. The benefit I have is I've been doing it for 10 years. So whoever came to that event, they're people that I know.
Okay.
They're people that have established relationships over the span of a decade. And this is everyone from Meta folks to Google folks to guys who run the internet industry in Africa. And so it was a good place to sort of have you guys there as well as podcasters, just to indoctrinate you into what the ICT landscape is in Kenya. Because Kenya is a heavy, heavy hitter here. Within the region, we set the standards. So by having you there, having Moaf there, having Eric there, also just to, break bread together, that always pays off. And then I get to meet Bashir. So it's about spreading the gospel. And then also saying that this is actually what's happening in Kenya. And I was pointing out guys towards you that people wouldn't really realize actually have presence in Kenya. Right? And so that's what typically happens is we concentrate all these people. And I'm trying to do more events like that to get the podcasting cohorts involved.
Cool. Yeah. No, enjoyed ourselves. There was a guy who decided to collapse. And we talked about that guy on radio for a whole hour.
Oh, you guys talked about him?
Yeah. Okay, so this guy, no, look, Imanu, this guy, Bashir is on with him. So, what happened to that guy, by the way?
I think he just got levered. Like, he just got really, really drunk. And if that doesn't happen, it's not a good party.
All right. It happens regularly?
Of course. Kenyan, we can handle our liquor until we can't handle our liquor. And when we can't handle our liquor, everyone witnesses what happens.
Yeah.
So I think this particular gentleman was one engineer from a telecoms company. And we opened the invite to everyone. I mean, the party was so that someone sent me an invite of the party, and I was like, dude, that's...
It's me.
It's me that's organizing this party.
No, but earlier you were telling me about stress and how you'd get really stressed.
So let's look at it this way. There's balancing the podcast, having a full-time job. The thing that helped me keep it at bay was going to the gym, just being mentally strong.
Okay.
And as the injury happened, I sort of injured my chest, and I couldn't get back to the gym with the same energy and vigor that I normally did. And that messed with me mentally. And on top of that, it's the job that I have it's not 9 to 5. The internet runs 24/7. So you can have 3 calls, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You need to be up at all sorts of times because you're dealing out with America, you're dealing out with Japan, you're dealing out with different regions, right? And then there's a podcast. Bro, building the podcast, planning, scheduling, doing everything yourself. You've seen how much of a work it is, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a job that relates to that, it becomes hard trying to find a balancing act. And to be honest, I'm not much of a drinker. I've never really participated in extracurricular activities that involve hard drugs. But I'll admit it, sometime in March, April, I was like, let me try the things, the Bob Marleys they're talking about and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And it helps you relax. But bro, I started getting panic attacks.
After?
And so...
Way after?
Maybe a week.
Okay.
2 weeks. Because there was a particular week around my birthday, I just turned 34. I was like, I need to let loose, man. There's been changes at work. There's been changes with the podcast. There's a lot of pressure. There's this, there's that. Money stress, wondering where, because you have this number in mind, right, that you need to reach.
Yeah.
And it's all boiling down and you're like 34 and I haven't achieved it. Right? So what do I do? Instead of going to the gym, I said, let me just try this stuff.
All right.
And what it does is these drugs, they take your dopamine to unnatural levels. So all of a sudden you're on cloud 9 and you're not supposed to be there for so long, especially if you've not earned it.
All right, yeah.
You see, the thing is, if you do a hard workout and you feel that natural high, you've earned it because your body's released it. But this is artificial. So what ends up happening is it shuts your system down.
That's now the calm down.
Yes. and you enter a negative state. And if you do it again and again, you're in a deficit. Now, when you're in a deficit, what your dopamine levels does, it keeps your demons at bay. So if you get panic attacks, or if you have a history of, in your family, mental illness, or suicidal tendencies, all those start boiling to the surface. You know the calm down, where you just feel miserable. Now for me, anxiety was the thing. I didn't know I had that. Because I work in sales, I do presentations for like 20, 30, 40 people. Bro, the week after, it was a big customer. There were like 100 people on the call. I froze. And everyone's wondering what's going on.
So like silence.
Like I can't put my thoughts together. And
so what happened? Is there someone who stepped in?
So I'm admitting this on air. I turned my laptop off and said the internet was bad. Right? And so that was not...
But at least your brain generated that idea, right?
Yeah, so then I was like, okay, something is definitely off.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is not me. And I ended up going to... I've never believed in therapy, but I just went to a friend who's a therapist, and she's like, oh, your dopamine levels are shot. No, sorry. No, I'm not allowed to guess. Your dopamine levels are shot, right? So, of course, these underlying issues are going to come and get you. And for you, clearly, it's anxiety. Performance anxiety on stage, on this and that. And I've never had that because I did acting growing up. I've always been in front of people. I love being in front of people. And I think that stand-up comedy, the appeal for that is you're giving something and you're getting something in return.
Yeah,
it's very addictive, right?
Yeah, it is.
And that's why we're doing podcasting, is because we want to be loved by the masses.
Yeah, man, we're needy.
You are needy, right?
We want people to like our show.
And
please like.
Exactly. And sales is an extension of that. I'm putting on a show. I'm putting on a performance. I'm getting you to like me, to buy my product, to buy my service. So when I didn't get that, there was a big mishap. And so what I started doing was getting back to the gym slowly. Coach, MMA, diet, this and that. So it's very different. So my ideal weight is 75, 80. I'm 110. Yeah. So you see, big weight.
Yeah. How long did it take to get?
Over the span of 6 months.
For real?
Jumia, bro. No Uber Eats. Blame that.
You guys. That is crazy.
Once a Glover introduced 25% off. You know, post-COVID, getting food at home. Shida. Now you can be at home. You're feeling down. You're like, pizza in, bro. And then they give you another one.
You should move to Kitengela. There's nothing like that.
By the way,
in Kitengela is the good old fashioned. You go to the shop.
They turn off internet after 10.
There's no one who's gonna come in.
There's no even light over there. After you get up, you want to make a coffee. You have to boil the thing.
You have to do. There's nothing like delivery, man. When I come to Nairobi, I'm like, yo, you guys just order food to your doors. Oh man, that is dope.
So
how do they measure dopamine levels?
Well, I don't think there is a way to tell it, and it's characteristic traits.
Oh, okay.
So someone who's never had panic attacks starts having panic attacks, and if you sort of backtrack it and there's some sort of drug involvement, you can point it out to that, right?
All right.
Dopamine levels, usually what you do is you feel nice, you feel energetic, you want to talk to people.
Okay.
But the opposite of that is you want to isolate. You don't want to meet people. You don't do anything. You don't have energy to do anything. You're not productive. That's the opposite. So have you ever had moments like weeks on end where you just don't feel like doing anything? Right? You meet people, but you're like forcing yourself.
Yeah. I used to stay in bed till like 10 with the curtains closed.
12.
Sometimes it used to be 1.
Yeah.
One day I went until 2.
Me the whole day.
Competition. So if you're sleeping in on a Saturday till like 2, 3, 4, which I used to do, and some people have night shifts and they do things, and I understand that. But if you're just like a normal guy and you're spending all your time in your bed doom scrolling, first of all, social media is the other thing. Those quick dopamine hits when you post something, that's the worst thing that can happen to you.
But Bashir, when we come back from this moment, we're going to talk about, I think you've ever shared with me something about a panic attackish situation.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that when we come back. Meanwhile, I have something that I want Sajid to hear, so don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
This is Radio Generation.
Attention football fans, the chase for continental glory is on the 20th of September. All roads lead to Nyayo Stadium as Kenya Police take on Mogadishu City in the CAF Champions League qualifier. It's more than just a game. It's 90 minutes of tackles, speed, power, and passion, where discipline meets determination and only one team marches on to Africa's greatest stage. And here's your chance to be right in the action. Radio Generation is giving you the chance to win free tickets to watch the game live. All you have to do is answer a simple question. Don't wait. Tickets are selling fast at langopass.com. The CAF Champions League qualifier. Kenya Police versus Mogadishu City. The battle for glory starts here.
Radio Generation 88.8 Nairobi.
Terms and conditions apply.
This is Radio Generation.
And we're back like we never left, hanging out with Sajid Vayani right here in studio. Coffee Pump Podcast is where he's at. I'm actually on the latest episode on that podcast.
I saw it, man.
It's doing well.
Congratulations. Yeah, man. Congrats, man. To me.
That was funny, but
I used to watch other people there. I'm like, yo, when are they gonna call me? Mungu wako wapi? Then finally, Mazai got the
wait,
phone
but
call,
you got the phone call 3 times. You denied me 3 times.
No, but at least you had said calling. So that was the thing. You hadn't called me before that. So
do you still do the driving around?
I do. The thing is, it was raining, right? It was, I think the past month or so, it was very cold weather, very unpredictable.
Let's give it some context.
So the podcast we do is called Midnight Coffee Run. We place the camera on the bonnet and we drive around. So it's a podcast on the go. And initially we were supposed to do with Manu. That session it started drizzling. And then the second week it started drizzling. Then you did mine. I was like, you know what, let's just keep it safe. Let's do it in the studio. But the coffee run is nice. You're driving around, you go for coffee, you catch up with guests. And the idea was to get people, hopefully, who are listening to this, who own car showrooms, to give me their cars.
Oh, cool.
To pick up guests.
I think it's a nice, fresh other thing apart from the studio interviews.
Yeah, it's also like, relax, let me pick you up, I'll drop you. And Friday nights, I'm just driving around.
So do you actually go and have coffee?
Yeah.
That's part of the shoot?
That's part of the shoot.
So the shoot takes how long? 2 hours?
Even 3 hours sometimes, depending on the flow of the conversation.
Who was your favorite guest so far?
You.
But I've not been on.
Oh, for the car?
Yeah, for the coffee pump.
For the car
thing.
You'll have to go with Eric. My guy,
right.
Eric. Eric is always a charm to have on. Like, he's just a natural conversationalist. And this is a shout out every other time with Eric.
Oh, okay.
So the main idea was I get people on the main show, and then we do a midnight run.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. But the thing is, it's also work, right? You have to plan it. You have to do it in the evenings. Now, most people in the evenings, and we're doing it late at night. You don't want jammers jumping on the bonnet for the camera. So you have to do it like in the wee hours.
You know, they actually have a real camera. I thought it was like a GoPro. So they stick an actual camera on the bonnet.
And so my guy was telling me, it's like a 600K rig on the bonnet.
So when are you shooting the next one?
I'm not telling you.
Which route do you usually? Which areas do you?
I'm gonna be there, man. They're grabbing a camera. Podcast YouTube, the quality will shoot up all of a sudden, you guys. But back to the conversation about dopamine and stuff. I hung out with Bashir quite a bit, and I've heard you mention such a thing.
Yeah. I think the way you said when you talk about dopamine, I think the right word to use is baseline. There is a baseline. That's why being bored is not necessarily a bad thing. Being bored is actually the default. That is your baseline. Correct. You know, there's no spike in activity. There's nothing. You just, which is nice. But now the problem every time we are bored, we feel like it's a negative thing. So you try to fill those pockets of boredom with now scrolling.
You where did you get all this knowledge?
See, I read a lot. You don't read.
This guy is really shocking me with the story. Taking boring is normal. Taking me what? You should be coming more often. You're unlocking some new levels here.
It's so true. You see, the thing is, I think one of the best things you can do for yourself is just getting a physical job or something physical. Because that exertion naturally makes you feel high. If you look at humanity, men were always hunters. We weren't podcasters, doom scrolling, or radio hosts. Uber Eats, 2 pizzas, extra cheese. You know, by the way, Pizza Inn is dope.
Yeah, you have to work hard for your
You have to work hard for your meal.
Yeah.
And so I think the realization for me was, in UK, when I was doing my masters, I had to sort of fend for myself. And the only job I could get was a cleaner. So sufficient toilets, cleaning the classrooms, and it was like 5 to 6 hours of just intense work.
All right.
I had a crazy boss called Liz. She was like completely racist. Like I
To
remember,
you?
because when over New Year's we were doing the shift and we were cleaning, so firecrackers started going off. So I was like, wow, it's amazing. And she's like, your people like explosions, eh? So
She said that.
she said that. So it didn't shika with me. And then I'm cleaning the classroom. I'm like, everywhere. When you're just standing there with a mop. Did you just say this?
You used to work on campus.
Yeah. So what happens is on campus there are different faculties. So there's there's teaching side, there's a research side, and the student side. Research side, for the most part, people come in and out. They have different grants. They do everything. So there's no closing period. And so for the most part, the university campus needs to stay alive. And the best people that they could find were international students who were staying there and wanted to get paid. It was good money, by the way. It was like £7 an hour. And so if you're doing 10 hours, it's £70 a day. 70 pounds a day is good money.
Emmanuel, that's like
That's like 12, 13k?
Yeah.
That one.
thank you for saving him. It's because he's really poor at maths. So
By the way, I'm guessing.
I think it's more.
Maybe.
a pound is 150.
Pound, I think 150, 160, by the way.
Yeah. The euro is like 147. That's
Bro.
the
There's a difference between euro and pound.
Yeah. The euro is for euro, and then the pound is for the United Kingdom.
United Kingdom. Everywhere else uses euro. I think we should adopt a similar concept. Don't you think so?
Gaddafi tried, then you see where he ended up. Huh?
That's conspiracy theory.
In the sweet by and by. Check it in the sweet by and by.
Do you think that would work? A central currency for Africa.
Yeah, it was. He was supposed to back it up with the gold standard, and then allegedly, America and Britain were not very happy.
Oh, yeah.
So
they
they
want
sent a plane.
to spread democracy.
Check it, send a plane. They're gonna unite people. Send a plane. This guy Siad Biashara in Kenya, oil Libya. It's no longer there, right? So
He was part of that.
yeah, it
No.
was. Yeah, it was oil Libya, the petrol stations.
Really?
Yeah, that was oil Libya. Like he was part of that stuff.
Oh, Libya.
Yeah. It's in the name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on, who am I? Who am I dealing with here in this studio? Chess.
It's in the name, by the way. Actually, oil Libya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're talking. So you're saying you used to work.
That was when I was doing my masters. Then when I came back, then I sort of started this data center job, and maybe I can talk more about Icolo and what we do. So you guys understand the concept of data centers, right?
I do.
Manu, William, and Manu's like, okay,
These guys are funny.
so think about it this way: like when you go on your phone, any application that you access on the back end, like WhatsApp, they have pictures, right? Those pictures are stored on your phone and in the cloud, right? But in the cloud doesn't necessarily mean in the cloud. It means on servers,
Okay.
sitting somewhere, and those servers are usually in a data center.
Those servers are in a high,
So
high altitude.
high altitude cloud. We're talking about Mount Kilimanjaro sides.
Mount Elgon. Check it. No, let me explain to you how it works. When you go to Mount Elgon and Mount Kilimanjaro,
You get better cloud services. Yeah, so they on the back end, the foundation is always a data center. Now, if you remember when Facebook first came out, and you'd go on a mama's profile and you'd try and load a picture, it was
yeah, it would take a while.
because what would happen is from your phone, it would go via fiber to Mombasa, connect at an interconnection point, go via the undersea cable to Europe, and then go all the way to America, where the server is, where that image is stored, and then bring it back. So it would take long to load because it's picking it up from there. Now, the company that I work for was like, why do we have to have a different internet ecosystem and experience compared to America? And the truth is because most of the servers don't sit in Africa. And why? Because they didn't have good quality data centers. So we wanted to open good quality data centers that Western economies and organizations can see as, okay, our servers will be safe over there. Power will never go out, cooling will never be an issue, and very secure. But then the level beyond that was, where are we going to place these servers? And so what we decided to do was open a data center in Mombasa. Do you guys know why Mombasa, not Nairobi?
Because the cables terminate in
Nimekuambia,
Mombasa.
this is not guy.
No, I knew. Skills. No, I knew.
We did a podcast together.
No, but I knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you look at Mombasa from an import-export perspective, Mombasa is where everything comes into East Africa, right? From goods that you receive, and then they work their way inwards. And most of the countries around us are landlocked. So there's Somalia, but Somalia, because of geopolitical issues, is never going to be what Kenya is. Tanzania is the next best bet because they have a bigger port than us. They're even more interconnected to different countries than us, but political instability, laws, ease of business. Kenya is always the best bet. And if you look at Kenya as well, Kenya, how many economies run in Kenya, right? We've got the Somali economy over here. If you look at Eastleigh, most of the money comes through here. South Sudan, DRC for that matter, a lot of business comes through here, right? And a lot of smaller economies all come to Kenya to establish bases. Now, internet as well first lands in Mombasa and then works its way inward. And the internet cables would traditionally land in what you call cable landing stations, which belong to a telecom operator. So like Telecom Kenya or Seacom. And this is these are the folks that would bring the internet services to you. Now, the problem with that is those companies make business by selling you capacity, right? So if you want to access content on the back end, they usually play a middleman fee. So if you want to pick up Facebook services and Facebook content, you would have to pay Telecom Kenya middleman fees, which was very expensive. So what we decided to do was build a neutral data center right at the top, which means anyone can come and access any content for a minimum charge. So Facebook would come, place their servers there. Anyone who starts an ISP would come and peer with them. And peer means interconnect with their servers. And I would not charge them based on capacity. It would be a simple interconnection fee. Google would come do the same. Akamai, which is like a content delivery network, so like for PlayStation, for Xbox, for adult websites, they're like a distributor for a manufacturer.
Oh, okay.
So we welcomed all these people in that data center in Mombasa because they knew Mombasa feeds the Indian Ocean Islands, it feeds East Africa. So all ISPs would come to pick it up from there.
It also feeds Seychelles.
Exactly.
Mauritius.
There's a cable called Lower Indian Ocean Network, which connects all those islands. And they come to Kenya to pick up capacity, right? Now, when we opened that data center, a lot of undersea cables started terminating with us. Content delivery networks, ISPs. And now 70 to 80% of Kenya's internet goes through our Mombasa data center. So, for example, Safaricom gives you free WhatsApp now when you buy data. Because the WhatsApp servers are sitting in Mombasa, not in Europe. Airtel gives you free YouTube streaming. Because the services are sitting in Mombasa in a data center. So our job is to sell real estate, IT real estate, data center space to everyone who wants to interconnect.
What were they doing before?
They were going through to Europe or South Africa.
So the wire, there was no wire coming through.
There was, but the people who had the data. So when you look at equipment, there's caches, which is small things that store minimum content. There's edge networks, which are larger base servers, and then there's compute, which is where everything is generated, which normally sits in America or Europe.
Okay.
Kenya had caches, so the caches would feed to an edge network, which stores some amount of data sitting in Europe or South Africa, right? It wasn't in Kenya because, again, we didn't have what you call neutral data centers that are not owned and operated by telecom providers. We didn't have good facilities. So when we started, they were like, okay, we can place it in country. So they started bringing in edge services. And that's how people started interconnecting to them.
Oh, that's interesting stuff, huh? Bashir, you want to understand this bit well?
Yeah, I actually did cloud practitioner.
What?
AWS. So I'm listening to you. I'm like, I'm familiar with this stuff.
You've got your certificate for cloud?
Yeah, I do. I have my badge.
Manu,
You don't come here to hire stuff, eh?
Coming to poach.
Ukona LinkedIn profile.
This guy has to help with our presenters, you guys.
Yeah.
Check him Bashir. Ask him, Manu.
So where did you do it? I mean, so where were you working before?
I just did a course. I did a course with Ajira. So the cloud, I think CCP, cloud practitioner. Yeah, I think it's basically entry level.
But still, that's amazing. So you understand how cloud services work,
Yeah,
right?
I do. In regards to the
Data center,
AWS
yeah,
infrastructure, but
Yeah.
it's basically the same.
Hold that thought. You're going to tell us more about that when we come back. Even me, there are some courses I want to tell these guys that I did when we come back.
This is Radio Generation.
Brace yourself. Nairobi, Mogadishu City versus Kenya Police FC, September 20th at Nyayo Stadium. The CAF Champions League qualifier. Want free tickets? Listen, play and win on Radio Generation 88.8. Get your tickets at
langopass.com.
Radio Generation 88.8 Nairobi. This is Radio Generation.
And we are back. This is Radio Generation. The show is called The Wind Down. We are deep into our open mic hour. We are live on YouTube. I'm seeing there's some gents and ladies watching, and we're also live on X. Quite a number of people have joined us on X. Remember to follow us while you're around here, and also retweet the stream so that we can grow this show and more people can enjoy this show. Bashir, unasema Bashir, you're a man of many hats.
Yeah, lazima unajaribu kila kitu. I guess. Yeah.
It's amazing that he does cloud, because I mean, that's, to be honest, that's where the future is. People are telling you to invest in properties. Don't invest in properties. Like, don't. The real estate of the future is data centers, because think about all this we're doing. Everything on the back end sits in cloud somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Because we're part of an always online ecosystem.
Yeah.
We need it now. We need the Kisiangani podcast now, right?
Open mic Radio Generation now.
So as people start spreading the internet and more cities get connected, everything will sort of have to be online. And what supports that base layer? Data centers. So find a company that's running data centers on the Nasdaq or any of these exchanges and invest in data centers.
How about local? Is there a way to invest? Can I give you like 100k right now and love I get shares?
100k kununua table, ama?
Itanona antivirus license ya one week
Packages.
Coffee machine supply.
Jackie, I have invested in this company. I need reports. But for real, it's there's a friend of mine who lives in TZ. You're saying the penetration of internet there is not as
Yeah,
as,
I think
as good.
So so I have a response to that. The fault is with Safaricom. Safaricom messed up internet penetration spread the traditional way. Do we know why? I'm putting you on the spot now. Usiniangalie hivyo. Answer the question.
Because of wireless.
No,
4G networks.
So look at this. Traditional cities, right? City A, City B, City C. City A grows, expands towards City B, fiber connects City B. City B grows, extends outward, City C. So that's how Europe connected their cities, right? With fiber. For us, outside of City A, Nairobi, maybe the only other connected city was Mombasa. But it did not spread traditionally. Why? Because of M-Pesa. Okay? M-Pesa made everyone get a phone in their hand. So if you go to the Masai Mara today, you have a Jama sitting over there. He lives in Amanyata. He's kula Mudhogoi. Or maybe they don't have beef fry.
Then they meet.
Beef fry and chapo.
I don't
Right?
think they chapel.
Really?
Yeah.
The modern Masai maybe. But they all have a phone in their hand, right? The phones are smartphones. Wako na Instagram, wako na Snapchat. His banking facilities are all there. He's paying for his daughter's school fees who's on the other side of the country via the phone, M-Pesa. So all of a sudden, this phone is connected, right? It's an online device. So people are like, why do we need fiber? Why do we need infrastructure?
Yeah, there's not a great need for it.
So the internet penetration went through the roof, through the veil of the mobile. And so for the most part, mobile money became the de facto way to deal with everything. We don't need banks, we don't need buildings, we don't need cyber cafes. M-Pesa, phone, smartphone, internet. And Kenya, whatever works in Kenya, there's a ripple effect into East Africa. So Kenya, whatever worked there, worked in Tanzania, worked in Uganda, for the most part, Kigali, Rwanda. Everyone uses mobile money. Because if you go to the smaller cities, again, you're listening to online radio, right? You're banking via the app. You don't need to be at the branch. But the traditional European cities all had branches, all had facilities. And so that's why the internet penetration via fiber is not that great. But via 4G and 5G, impeccable. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it does. It does.
You look lost.
No. I'm totally with you, man.
Yeah.
Like I can see it in my brain.
Okay.
I think these technologies came before it spread out enough.
Yeah, and now phones are everywhere. Phones are easier. Phones are your livelihood. You can literally have this and build a career off of it. You don't need the traditional brick and mortar stores to do anything. Everything happens through the veil of the phone.
The wires are cheaper to use than the...
Fiber's expensive, right? But when you set up base stations with 4G and 5G, it's still expensive. But the rollout, and because it's easier to get someone a phone that can connect to 4G than it is to deploy fiber to their house and set up a modem and a receiving unit. You get that logic?
Yeah.
5K, you can have a phone. 10K, you can have a phone. 15K, you can have a phone. But for someone like JTL or Safaricom to pull fiber to your house in the middle of nowhere, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Then to tap in. The alternative challenge to that is obviously SpaceX and Starlink. But still, SpaceX and Starlink have a gate in front of them, tied in terms of capex investment, which means you have to spend, I think, how much is the modem? 50K, 60K?
It's I think it's down to 30K now.
But still, 30K is a lot. How many people can afford to cough up 30K for that? Not
In
many
advance,
people.
huh?
Yeah, in advance.
I hear in Nairobi it was so saturated they had a connection fee.
So the way it works is, before, because I know the dealings of the back end, the way SpaceX works is, you can think about the globe, right? Now, maybe it's flat Earth, but anyway, I don't know. The globe. So you've got satellites covering it on all ends. Now you need a base station, a gateway site, in order to receive it, right? And what happens is, if you don't have a gateway site, you can limit the number of users connecting. So there was a lot of issue last year and the year before that, because the gateway sites weren't active in country. But right now, the gateway sites, they've got terminals which they're activating, they can handle. But I think the business hasn't gone as far as they'd expect.
All right.
Because not many people are using Starlink, are they?
In the cities there.
Compared
Okay,
to,
but you're the one who tell me, I'm sure.
compared to like you have JTL at your studio, you don't use SpaceX, Starlink. Same with me, same with Bashir.
Yeah.
Right, 3 of us in this room all have internet
Oh,
connected
so
via
it's
fiber.
like- Yeah.
The people that use Starlink and can benefit from it are those people running in remote areas, hotels, oil rigging companies. So there is a need for that. Okay, but compared to fiber,
There's something I was discussing with Bashir, but we're talking about how phones with Starlink, it will be direct to satellites.
yes,
All right. So there was an article I read about those. Now it will eliminate the need for mobile phone carriers.
yeah, of course. So
Is
yeah,
that the future?
I've heard the rumor. Let's think about this in phases. Let's look at Elon Musk. He has X. X is one of the biggest social media platforms, right? Now imagine every phone has X installed, pre-installed. Now, what's Elon Musk's connectivity company? SpaceX, Starlink, right? If you, and I'm saying in hypotheticals, let's imagine 5 years from now, you log into your X platform, you pay $10 a month. Wherever that SpaceX phone that he releases, which has an X account, let's say he releases a phone, you can be in the middle of the Sahara as long as you have your phone, your Starlink phone or your SpaceX phone, and you have the X app, you can connect to the internet. You can do X to any bank transfers. You can make calls from X. You can message from X. Doesn't that change the game?
Yeah. It's sort of like WeChat.
Yes. But WeChat is limited in terms of where it's applicable, right?
Oh yes.
China's very heavily dominated with WeChat. But SpaceX, how many people are on Twitter? Hundreds of millions?
Yeah.
You convert that to a banking, shopping, telco-based app and video streaming on demand, which is already done.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
are we predicting on this show the possible death of some of these carriers?
Don't you think so?
It's fascinating to me
Yeah.
because of how technology evolves so faster. So I'm always thinking, what's the next thing that'll just disrupt some of these things that we're used to? Because remember where we came from. Like these guys who used to do, like, remember the story of Kodak, right?
Yeah, and how it died,
Yes.
basically.
Yes. These guys who are doing compact discs.
Yeah.
Like there's always a technology which just comes and wipes out an industry.
Like, what's the iPhone killer? Because iPhone has obviously become very lazy. You guys have seen the new one, right? Will you get it?
Definitely.
Yeah, but we're still on 12. Are you still on 12 Pro?
Yeah.
12 Pro dual SIM 256 GB, huh?
It's 12 Pro Pro. It's
Okay.
a limited edition.
So
The font is in Chinese.
but what's the,
So, yeah.
what's the killer for that, right? There is what's the taxi killer was Uber, right? The BlackBerry killer was iPhone. So what's the iPhone killer?
Yeah,
There is
that's-
going to be something.
I'm sure there's something.
It's physics. It's inevitable. Something will come that will disrupt the global market to such a scale. It always happens, and it happens in troves, and when it does, we least expect it.
Yeah.
Facebook literally changed the way we interact with people. So there is a technology that will come that we're not seeing, but that's there.
Even like the current telecom, the current carriers, right? They phased out Telkom Kenya. Remember Telkom Kenya?
Telecom Kenya, I work with them. I mean,
No, there's the old one. You remember the old one? Like
Every-
you had to have a landline.
Yes.
So you had to have a landline connected to this I don't remember the acronym for that thing.
But I remember the traditional phone.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
So even for internet, they used to have this dial-up connection. It does, and then it connects.
Yes.
That thing is basically dead right now.
It is.
Totally dead, like dead and buried.
Yeah.
So I really always wonder what's the new thing which is gonna bury this thing.
And
So
that's-
you
that's-
stay ahead of the curve.
That's always a mystery, and like folks like Elon Musk, there's several companies. It's a good indication to look at. There's an Instagram page I'm trying to forget, but they always talk about investing in certain companies that are changing and doing interesting things. I'm trying to recall what the Instagram page is. Anyway, that's besides the point. But
KisianganiOnline.com.
maybe you never know, right? But if X becomes a phone and it does all that, I think it can just drastically change it. But I think one thing that we need to consider is jurisdiction, licensing. Communications Authority of Kenya. Will they allow that kind of things to happen? But what's stopping them from not doing it,
I
right?
think Kenya is quite liberal in letting people come through and disrupt the market. Bashir Manzi, uko na swali? I've been talking continuously.
No, napenda hizo maswali zako kwa sababu najua mi najua hizi vitu so
Bashir Manzi is really not vibing you guys. So I'm the only one being educated here.
But let me, by the way, on a separate one, let me commend you on the podcast. Your output has gone through the roof, and even this one as well.
Yeah, we're doing well. In fact, I think guys really love you. There's so many guys watching you over here.
Really? Okay, that's good.
I think when we come back, we should talk about how you got into podcasting.
Sure,
for the
sure.
guys who've seen you
We'll
for
do
the
that.
very, very first time. But just because we have like 2 minutes, you can introduce how you decided to foray into podcasting.
I mean, it was always the basis was to be loved by the masses. If I can't do acting, what's the next step? And if I can't do stand-up comedy, let me try and do podcasting. But it's an interesting story. I'd gone to Amsterdam. I was on a certain trip that I saw John Mayer in, and John Mayer was with me on a stage talking to a crowd, and I was like, okay. He's like, you're good at podcasting. I'm like, I'm good at podcasting.
For real?
And that's how it started.
You on a trip?
Yes.
That is interesting. There's a friend of mine called Jason.
Yes.
Jason Rono, shout out to him if he's listening. He said he was once sleeping. He's a beekeeper now.
Wow.
But he's also he
Like
does
Jason
some-
Statham.
Yes. But now for real. A beekeeper there now to fight. So he said he was sleeping, and then a big bee came and told him, take care of us. Check that big bee. Check it.
How much honey did he have? The honey with sukari, eh?
Take care of us. So he decided to do beekeeping. So I don't know. So for you, it was you're on a trip, then you saw a big.
Yeah, when you go to
saw a big road mic, big
'cause I'm-
podcast.
You know, I'm a coffee guy, but when you go to Amsterdam, coffee shops don't serve coffee.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was the biggest mistake for me.
All right.
Can we still go on? I'm on a placement.
Yeah, Nicola Nini, top of the hour.
Top of the hour.
Yeah, top of the hour in a come through.
Yeah, so that's how it started. It was in 2023.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we're 50 something episodes in.
Yeah, congrats, man. I used to bump into your videos. So the quality of your videos keeps going up.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But at one point where you're like, who's this Mwindi guy?
Yeah, I definitely was. Cheki uni nani na mbona anachukua jobs za podcasting?
The cake is not big enough.
We need to no. But it was good. I used to enjoy seeing it,
I appreciate
especially
that.
when the quality just kept going up. I'm like, yo.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, let's talk more about that when we come back. But sure, there's a number where someone can send a voice note.
So the number is 011-692-8683. 011-692-8683.
Remember to keep the voice notes under a minute. Shout out to everyone who's been watching us on YouTube. I can see you. I'm going to shout you out when we come back. But meanwhile, don't touch that dial.
We'll be back.
It's 9 o'clock.
Radio generation, the sound is fine, pumping up, turn radio generation. The home of urban soul. Clocked out and stressed out? Yeah. Join the wind down for unfiltered conversations and a dash of light banter blend to give you a reset after a long day.
That's what it is.
Tune in, relax, and reclaim your chill, laughter, and good vibes on the wind down.
You got it locked.